Good morning, everyone. I'm Linda with Pinky Miles Cakes, Cookies, and Candy, also known as Pinky Miles Sisters in the Kitchen. And I'm just doing a little short live today. And Mary's in Lufkin at the ladies' conference. So I didn't create an event for this. I did make a comment or post that I would be on live. So I'm hoping that some of y'all got your notifications on. So we're going to get started real quick, and my blouse is over too far. So thank y'all for joining me, and welcome to my kitchen. And I have got some, if y'all remember a few weeks ago, it might have been toward the end of last year, I made a sour cream coconut pound cake, and it was so good. It was just, it stayed moist literally for weeks after I made it. And the reason I know that is because Mary kept the rest of it at her house and ate the last crumbs of it, and it was still moist. So it was moist for several days after I first made it. So anyway, I wanted to do something a little different today. This is the same recipe, but I'm just going to show you the tail end of it. I wanted to make something for some elderly people in town, and I thought, you know, a cake probably wouldn't be that good for them. So I'm using our jumbo muffin pans, and I've got it, the liners in it. I'll show you when I take it out of the oven. So I thought that would be easier for them to maybe store, and, you know, if they wanted to eat half of one and put the other half up for later. Anyway, they love coconut. It's a friend of mine's parents, and they've recently entered a nursing home here in town, and so I thought it would be a treat for them. So I have got my burner on here, and I'm going to make the syrup. I've got the muffins in the oven. I'm going to take them out. With this recipe, you take this out about 5 minutes before they're done, and then you cover them with this syrup and put them back in the oven. So I'm thinking probably can go ahead and take these out. And let's set these here. And I wanted to make the syrup live, or I would have already had these out. But I'm going to go ahead and take them out because I don't want them to overcook. So if you can see here, this recipe made 12 of the jumbo muffins. Now these are almost done, but I'm just going to put 1 cup of imperial extra fine sugar. My boiler is hot. A half a cup of water, and cream of coconut. I'm using 2 tablespoons of cream of coconut. And a lot of people had trouble finding this. And y'all know we don't normally shop in the mixed drink aisle, but if you can't find this in the sugar and baking aisle, look in the mixed drink aisle, and that's probably where it's going to be. So I remember the first time I ever tried to find this, I looked and looked and looked and went back and looked again, and Mama was still living, and I told Mama, I said, I just can't find it. And she told me where to find it. So it was real easy to find. So this is, because this is extra fine sugar, it's going to dissolve really quickly. And what you want to do is you just want to bring this up to a boil, and you're going to boil it for 1 minute, just 1 minute. And then we're going to cover these cakes, and we're going to put them back in the oven for just a couple of minutes. So I need to get me out a little scoop, so I'll have something to measure by how much I'm putting in there. I don't see my little tiny one. No matter how many times I clean out these drawers, they still seem to, I'll just use the medium one, they still seem to get messed up. We are going to have some thunderstorms come through this afternoon. Several of you have mentioned that, and I know more than likely, and I don't know that for sure. I'm not a weather forecaster, but I've followed weather all my life. I'm according to the maps and the models, it looks like Louisiana may get some of the worst of it. So I know we just had somebody from Pineville say something about it. So prayers for everybody in the state of Louisiana, and also all over Texas, and as it moves further east, Mississippi and Alabama, and the other states. So this is almost ready to come to a boil. The really good thing about the sugar, and I know y'all can't get it it's not available in every location, but because it is fine, it dissolves. I mean, it's dissolved so beautiful, and it just makes it really easy to do something like this. I did talk to Carla I didn't talk to her. She texted me this morning. She's at the doctor getting that procedure done. Maybe as we speak, maybe it'll be a few more minutes from now. So everyone, please remember her. She's by herself, and she's a little bit anxious. So please keep her in your prayers. We're hoping that after this is done today, that she'll start mending and start feeling much better like herself. Okay, so it's almost to come to a boil. You want to get it to a rolling boil, and then set your timer for 1 minute and let it boil. Now, when the first time I did this, and I poured that over that cake, I had already made one. So I mean, the first time I did it, I poured it over and I said, this is going to stick. I'll never get this cake out of this pan. But it did. It just came out beautiful. And then when we did it live on air with Mary, she was like, are you sure that's going to work? And I'm like, yep, it's going to work because I've already done it. And with doing it like this and pouring this syrup over, it absorbs into these muffins, and that's what makes it so good. Plus, it has cream of coconut and angel flake coconut in the batter itself. Okay, so we're almost to a rolling boil here. Y'all can see around the side it's starting to boil. And this is not going to be a long video. I just wanted to get on this morning and just do a real short video. Mary's going to be coming on live in a little bit and just show y'all a couple of pictures of the campgrounds down there, the inside of the tabernacle. And so I don't know what time it'll be, but it'll be a little bit later. So let me set my timer for 1 minute. And unless you're just really good at managing time, you really do need to set a timer because you don't want to boil this over a minute. So just let it boil for a minute and then take it off, and we're going to put it right on the muffins. So I'm taking probably half a dozen over to town, and I'll probably leave a couple for Mike. And then I was thinking, okay, I've got 4 left. What am I going to do with those? So I think I'm going to call my neighbor and ask them, do they want to run up here and get a couple? So I'll, have them all taken care of. Y'all know I love sweets, but I'm trying to eat a little healthier. So when I bake something like this, I get it out of the house. Okay, we're almost done here with the minute. And we'll be turning this off. Now, if y'all have never tried this, y'all need to try it because it really does do wonderful. Okay, I'm going to take it off the take it off the burner. And you can see it's just kind of bubbly there. Now, you may think that's a lot for this, but you need all of it. You need to make sure that your muffins are just soaked in it. So I'm going to just let it sit there for a minute. I'm going to use this 2 tablespoon scoop so I make sure that I'm putting even amounts in each one. And I'll probably have to go back and put some more in it. But I'm going to start with the 2 tablespoon scoop. And I think I'm going to move my boiler over here. So hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. It's really hard when you're trying to do something to make sure that you've got it to where everyone can see what you're doing and not see yourself, because y'all can see me anytime, but to see what I'm doing, you need to be able to not have me in the picture. So, get this over here. You see, that's quite a bit of syrup. And this is a little different than simple syrup because it's got that cream of coconut in it. All right, so I'm just going to start with a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to just kind of carefully pour it over it because I want it to all sink in. And it'll take a minute, but it'll sink into your muffin. And you need to leave it in your muffin pan because you're putting this back in the oven. I'm being careful, trying not to spill this over the sides, but some of it I am spilling over the sides. Now you can tell that absorbed that really quickly, and I'm going to set this, I don't want it on that burner that's been on. I'll set that aside so I can do this one. That pan's hot. And you have to do it slowly because you want it to sink in. You don't want it to go over the sides of the wrapper. There's not going to be a whole lot left to go back and add some more to the other ones, but it's going to be a little bit left. Whoops. If I let it go over the side on that one, I'm going to put just a little bit more. Okay, so you can see by me putting 2 tablespoons in each one, there's just a tiny bit left. I'm just going to go back and add just a little bit to each one. And I'll do the same thing over here. Because you want to use it all. You may think that it's too much, but you want to use all of this. Okay, so I got all of it in there. Now I'm going to pop them back in the oven for probably about 3 to 4 minutes. And then I'm going to take them out and let them cool. And then I'll get some pretty boxes to put them in. I got some little, should have brought them in here and showed y'all. I used to order all kinds of containers to put my baked stuff in, and I don't order it anymore, but I still have a lot left over from my baking days when I was baking for the public. So I set the timer on 4 minutes, and I'm just going to leave them in there for about 4 minutes to just get that time to soak down in there and cook just a tiny bit more. And if you're making a cake, like a bundt cake or a cake in the 2-pan, it's the same thing. I don't know why they have different names. But when you time it, because it takes over an hour to cook the big cake, and you set your timer and kind of check it and kind of gauge it by how much it jiggles in the middle, and then you take it out about 5 minutes before it's done and have this hot syrup ready, and just gently pour it all over the top. Make sure the entire top is covered. Put it back in your oven and leave it in there for 5 minutes, and then take it out and let it cool just a little bit. I don't leave my cakes in the pans long. They tell you to leave them in there for 30 minutes. I never leave a cake in a pan 30 minutes. I'm usually have it out of the pan probably within 10 minutes after it comes out of the oven. That's my preference. Somebody else might do it another way. And if you do it another way, that's certainly okay too. I just realized I don't have my apron on. I had it out and I never did even put it on. I don't even know why I thought about it just then. I'm like, I don't even have an apron on. But anyway, I hope that everyone has a wonderful Friday and weekend. Hope everyone stays safe. And I hope that y'all will join Mary Monday. She'll be live Monday. She'll be cooking by herself. We'll be together Tuesday at my house and then back at her house Wednesday cooking together, Lord willing. But she will be on a couple more times over the weekend at the ladies conference. And I know she's already seen several of our sweet friends that watch us on here. And I know she is really enjoying seeing the ones down there that are old friends, that are new friends, and also the ones that watch us on our page here. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll take a picture of these and show and put on the page. And if y'all are, looking for the ingredients of the batter, we did do this. Like I said, there's video. I saw it right before I came on. I think we did it in December. So it's a sour cream coconut pound cake is the recipe, and it is made from scratch, and it's not a hard recipe. If you want to go back and watch that video from December, you can certainly go back there, and I tell the ingredients, and also you got the ingredients here for the syrup that I put on it. So thank you very much. We love all of y'all. I miss my sister, and I know she misses me, but sometimes we just can't be together on our program. So be sure to be kind to someone, show kindness. It is so very important to me to be kind to people, because what you see on the outside may not be what's going on the inside. And a lot of times the people that are the strongest and the ones that smile the most are also the ones that are hurting the most. So remember that when you're out and about. Just pick out somebody to say something nice to them and be kind to them. And be sure to always remember to count your blessings. The Bible says, enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. And I may have got that mixed up, but that's what it means. And I was taught that all my life before you start saying prayers. And that's my personal, it doesn't mean that you have to do that. That's just the way I was taught. And it's the way that I do. I always begin my prayers with thanksgiving. Because I do have so very much to be thankful for. Thank you again for your love and concern for Carla. And I hear my buzzer going, so I'm going to get these out of the oven. I guess I'll get them out and show y'all, and then I'll close. I think I'm going to need two. I can't pick stuff up with one hand anymore like I used to could, so you can tell that that's just, that good syrup has just cooked down in there, and they are going to be absolutely delicious. Now I baked these at 325, and that's what the recipe calls for the cake. You could probably bake them on 350 for the muffins because it's not as thick. But I did bake these on 325. And someday when I do some other muffins, I'll tell y'all how to get a high rise on a muffin. I didn't particularly want a high rise on these, so I didn't. But there's a way to do that. There's 2 or 3 tricks to do that too. Thank you. God bless. And we love y'all so much and appreciate every one of you. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.